My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection 81 Montez Ford of the Street Profits. And so here we have Montez Ford posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Montez Ford does come with his entrance crown, which does fit on his head really nicely, as well as a pair of sunglasses. He does come with 2 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of wide grip hands. And then we get a pair of gloved, flat-palmed hands. He of course does come with a cup which he can hold in either of his grip hands. And then he does come with his Street Profits entrance vest. Other than that, Montez Ford doesn't come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, guys, let's move on to his details. So here we have a closer look at Montez Ford, and I think Mattel has done a really good job with this figure. I really do like his head sculpt. It did a really good job capturing the likeness to Montez Ford, especially when you have him with all his entrance gear. I do have one issue with the head. It seems like his head is a little bit too big for the body. I know Mattel has this issue where they make the heads just a little bit too oversized. He is suffering from that. It's not too big of a deal, but it is noticeable that his head, it might be a little bit too big for the body, but overall, a really good job here. They did a really good job with his goatee and his mustache. The face print is perfectly aligned as it should be. They did a really good job with his hair. Just look at that design, or his hair. It looks really good. That's a very nice detail by Mattel there. And we do have a little bit of paint error back here, but that's not a big deal in my honest opinion. So overall, really good likeness to Montez Ford. They did a good job with it. Minus the head being maybe 3% too big, it's still a really nice looking head sculpt. So having a look at the rest of the figure, I want to say this is a unique torso that no other figure has had before Montez Ford. If it's a body that has been seen before, let me know. But I think the closest one that comes to this is Fandango, but that's even different than this. So yeah, very possible that this is a very unique torso that they designed specifically for Montez Ford. I think they did a really good job with his tattoos. They're done exceptionally well on his arm, going all the way onto his body as well. Especially on this arm, they did a good job with that as well. The tattoos are done very nicely. Now, I think one issue I have with this figure is the lack of wrist tape. I know sometimes Montez Ford wears wrist tape, sometimes he doesn't. I kind of would have preferred the action figure to have wrist tape because, I don't know, he seems kind of plain, to be quite honest, in terms of his overall look. If there was something to break up the arms, it wouldn't be as bad or as noticeable. So, continuing on with the rest of the figure, he is wearing the red Street Profits gear, which I do like. It has a white stripe right here. A little bit sloppy on mine, not gonna lie. You can see just how sloppy it is on that side. This side, not too much, but it is very light right here. They could have done maybe 1 or 2 more coats, and it's a little bit fuzzy right here, so not the best paint apps that we've seen. And this is something that it really does anger me sometimes, but then I realize it's an issue toy lines have in general. When they paint over a color with white, you normally have like fading issues where there's parts of the paint that you can see the plastic through, and then where they line up the paint right here. Kind of wish they had found a way to do that in one streak, because you can see right here that we have where the whites overlap, and then it makes that thicker paint, and then it's inconsistent going all the way around. Just look at how sloppy it is. It's very sloppy paint apps by Mattel here, not gonna lie. We have seen them do line work better than this. This is not their best showing. I do like the Street Profits logo right here on the side of his legs, and one thing I do like is that he is using these new legs that don't have the pins, as you can see, and I think these are unique to Montez Ford. I don't think we've seen another figure with these particular lower legs. If we have, I don't own that figure, but if we haven't, this is unique to Montez Ford. And this kind of goes on with the whole, he's kind of plain looking, because we just have red going down, and normally he has a different color sock to break up the tights and the socks, but yeah, they just did it all in one color, which I know he has done this before, but I would have liked like maybe white or black just to break that up, because once you get to the shoes it continues red. It's almost like he has an entire jumper that he fits over his wrestling gear, and then that's what it is. Do like the shoes though, although a little bit of detail goes a long way. They could have painted the laces white. I know that the laces were red, but white laces would have helped make this figure look a little bit better. But really nice detailing on the shoes, I can't deny that. So overall, Montez Ford is a pretty good figure, although his paint apps could be a little bit better on his ring gear. He's still an overall impressive looking figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Montez Ford posed next to an Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. And finally, here we do have Montez Ford posed next to fellow Street Profit Angelo Dawkins. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually run through his articulation. Now, Montez Ford does have a ball joint in the head, which does let him look up, and he doesn't really look down all too well, but he does get some slight head tilt, so, well, actually a lot of head tilt, which is really good. Does turn left and right, and because his head is a little bit oversized, you can see his jaw does hit his traps. If his head was just a little bit smaller, we wouldn't have that issue. Arms are on ball joints that do go all the way around as well as out to the side. We do have swivel here at the bicep, single bend at the elbow. They haven't implemented double joints just yet, but yeah, he still has a single joint swivel and hinge here at the wrist. We do have an ab crunch which leans back about that far and goes forward about that far, so not the best for somebody as athletic as Montez Ford here, which is very unfortunate. He does have a waist swivel, which does work fine. Legs do kick forward to about right there. They kick back out to the side very nicely. I do like that. We do have swivel here up at the thigh, double bend here at the knee, going very far back. I do like that. We do have a swivel where his shoe meets his tights, and then we do have a hinge in the ankle going back and forward. Now, unfortunately, he does have this short shoe problem, which, as you can see, as you bend that back, you might want to be careful on how you bend it, because you might accidentally bend that peg. Overall, a really nice figure here. They could have done a few things different, but I still like the way he came out. Paint could be much better, but overall, Montez Ford is still a very nice figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Montez Ford posed for my final thoughts, and overall Mattel has done a pretty good job with this figure. Now, in terms of paint, this is a very sloppy figure. We have seen better paint apps on figures, especially with white lines like Montez Ford here has. Angelo Dawkins has the same white lines, and his paint apps are much better than his, so I don't understand why Montez Ford got the short end of the paint stick in there. I do appreciate the fact that he does come with a unique torso and possibly a unique legs. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure no other figure has used these legs yet. I know the shoes have been reused, but the legs, I'm not quite so sure. Now, another issue I have with this figure are the hands. I do appreciate the fact that he comes with his glove hands. Why did he come with a set of gloved hands that can hold the cup? That's my biggest bewilderment about this figure. He comes with glove hands, but not the proper hand to hold the cup, which is surprising. Yeah, it's not a big deal. They could have easily given us a second set of hands, or a third set of hands to alleviate that, but for some reason they only included two. I think he did blow the budget on unique sculpting, which is perfectly understandable. Some figures cost more to produce than others. He might be a case of costing more than the other figure, so I do understand that. It's still a really nice figure, and I do like what they did here. I think out of the two Street Profits, Montez Ford is the better figure of the two, and that's not just me saying that just because the other figure is mostly Braun Strowman reuse. Overall, if you guys can get the Street Profits, I really recommend you do so. They are very nice figures to have, and they are a tag team, so having both of them is quite a big necessity, especially if you are trying to fill out your roster. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time guys, I'll see you later. Take care everyone.